Miss USA 2018 is Nebraska!
Well, it's a moment that put Nebraska in the headlines as Papillion's own Sarah Rose Summers added the crown of Miss USA to her Miss Nebraska title back in May of 2018. Now, after winning, the former Miss Nebraska moved to New York to fulfill her duties as Miss USA. Now, her reign ended this past May. Sarah joins us now today to talk about her life after the crown. Sarah, thanks so much for being here with us.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, bright and early.
Yes.
So, how was having that title that so many of us dream about having?
Mind-blowing, right? I mean, I had zero expectations for what the year would look like because my goal was top 15. I never anticipated winning. Nebraska just never made the top 5. And so I was going in bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, didn't know what to expect. And so it surpassed any ideals of what it could be like.
Right, absolutely. And you know, what was the highlight, that moment? Tell me back in that moment when you heard Miss Nebraska, what was that like?
I was really present the entire night of competition until they called me as the winner. And then I kind of emotionally it was over from in that moment.
Right.
It was just so surreal. I could hear my brother and my family in the audience. And
Super
that was
loud.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And you got to travel all over the world.
I did.
Where were some of the places that you got to travel to?
One of my favorite moments of the year was going to Mexico City with Smile Train. And prior to coming back home and competing at Nebraska, I had finished my clinical rotations in Oklahoma City to become a certified child life specialist.
Okay.
So children's hospitals is where my heart is. And I had the chance to go with Smile Train, providing the cleft lip, cleft palate surgery, and just getting to see a child's life transform. And seeing healthcare internationally in Mexico City is really what opened my eyes and, just changes your perspective. Yeah. But I also went to Bangkok, Thailand, and competed, represented Nebraska and the country at Miss Universe with 95 other women. And that was a 12 out of 10 experience. Laughed so hard, learned so much about different countries and different women's stories. It was amazing. Just a
magnificent, life-changing experience.
Absolutely.
I can imagine. So I can only imagine if you're traveling for that long, all over the place, how do you keep Nebraska close to you and kind of spread that Nebraska nice?
Oh, so many ways, right? So at first I moved to New York City. It's up the day after you win Miss USA. And I remember my first jog in Central Park. People would look at me and I'd wave or smile, and they look at you like you're crazy.
Because that's not New York at all.
Not at all. But that's Nebraska, and that's
right.
home. And I was born and raised here. My whole family's here. And so bringing little snippets of yourself to wherever you are is what's important. So that's one small act way. But then making sure that I came home. I came home for 2 Husker games last year, and my homecoming was just over a year ago, and that was magnificent. I mean, like I said, I never expected it, and making history for our state, coming home and seeing all of the state. We went out to North Platte and Lincoln, and it was such an amazing opportunity to see lines of, my elementary school teachers, and then people that I'd never met before that wanted to meet me. It meant a lot.
And lastly, I mean, you have a lot coming up. You have a podcast. You're getting married. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so what else is new?
Well, yes, I'm getting married, and that is very surreal. That is coming up in October. Very excited for that. Yes, very soon. But I've also been busy with lots of different projects. I have my podcast, which is called More Than a Crown. And after I gave up the title as Miss USA, it's such an amazing dream that, like you said, many only dream of, and it's a year. And then afterwards, it's over. So how do I continue to use this platform and utilize this voice that I had been given for a year? I get to do that via my podcast. And so I've interviewed people that have been influential in my life and women empowerment. And so that is where I'm at right now, and it's called More Than a Crown. You can listen to it on any podcast sources, and I've started a very small jewelry launch that's all about female empowerment. So I have bar necklaces that say brave, empowered, and worthy.
I can see you got one of them wearing now.
Yes, I have one of them on right now, and a small cross. Just the little tokens to remind ourselves as women, you are worthy, you are brave, you're empowered. I have girlfriends that have got it for their girlfriends, and it's
super
really
sweet.
neat.
Well, Sarah, we're so happy again that you came to visit us this
Thank
morning.
you.
So many congratulations on all of your titles, and we hope to see
much.
a lot more of you in Nebraska.
Absolutely. Go Big Red.
There you go. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.